Today we are on our way to Cumberland Caverns, which is a few miles outside of McMinnville, Tennessee. And on the way, you get to enjoy this beautiful drive and notice all the greenery that is associated with the state of Tennessee and really a lot of places in the South. Just beautiful little drive out here, and it was wonderful because it was not very crowded on this day that we decided to visit the caverns. The caverns are privately owned, not owned by the state of Tennessee, and there are several different packages that are available. On the website, cumberlandcaverns.com, you can learn a little bit more about this exciting cave. So here we are walking up to the entrance. They've got a nice little visitor center there. Little play area out here for the kiddos. And really enjoyed this adventure. So you walk right up here and you've got like the gift shop and the small visitor center, and kind of give you a shot of what that looks like. Lots of opportunities to buy souvenirs and different knickknacks that you might want to take home with you to help you remember your journey to the cave. I'll give you a little bit of history about the cave here in a second. But we bought our tickets. We got here just about 5 minutes before the tour started. And as is the case with a lot of these caves, the first thing you have to do is go over the rules. They want to make sure that they protect this natural environment as much as possible. So no tobacco or nicotine products in the cave. You can think about it, but don't do it. They do spend some time sharing with you a story about, in previous times, how kids would sneak down into the cave and vandalize it. And they spend a lot of time discussing the importance of trying to keep these environments as natural as possible. Certainly you want to stay with your guide, and it's easy to stay with them because they wear these bright orange shirts. You're not going to get lost. Of course, if the electricity goes out in the cave, and this cave does have electricity, if that goes out, it doesn't matter how bright a shirt they're wearing. You're not going to be able to see them because it gets really dark. Now you will want to check out the website and see the different packages that are available. They have walking tours. We did a basic walking tour. It was $24.95 for adults. Children 5 to 12 are $16.95. And they have other tours that go up as high as $29.95. We actually got the basic walking tour, and we wished we had gotten the second one up. We got the very basic one. The second one up allows you to go further into the cave. We kind of wish we'd done that one. And if we have a chance to go back, we'll do that one. So you walk a little ways up this path, and then you get to the entrance of the cave. In addition to the basic walking tours, they also have adventure tours ranging from $58 to $148 per person. And they even have some overnight packages, which range between $68 and $178 per person. That's right, you can spend the night in the cave if you want to. So as we walk into the cave here, I'll give you a little bit of history. Back in 1810, Aaron Higginbotham, that's a fun name, discovers this new cave on Cardwell Martin near McMinnville. So again, that was in 1810. It's about a mile away from an already known cave that was known as the Henshaw Cave. And the Henshaw Cave was essentially a one-room cave, but this new cave seemed endless. So Higginbotham, an early surveyor and turnpike builder, names the new cave Higginbotham Cave. Well, that figures, just kind of used his own name there. Venturing into the cave alone, he became trapped on a high ledge for 3 days when his torchlight went out. Now imagine, there's no electricity, it would be total darkness. And according to local legend, so we don't know if this is actually true or not, but according to local legend, spending 3 days in the cave, his hair turned white by the time a rescue party could locate him, and some even say that he lost his sight. But again, those are local legends. So pretty interesting stuff, and they go through this description of how when they began to really start exploring this cave, they had to really crawl through some tight spaces, and it looked pretty brutal, some of the things they would have to crawl through. This is that you just looked at some pictures of this little blue pool there. Of course, the pool is artificial lighting, help you give that blue effect, but it's actually almost 5 feet deep, so it seems it's a lot deeper than it looks. Now, we learned that on Easter weekend in 1953, a few individuals, including Tom Barr, a guy named Tank Gorin, and Dale Smith, they were surveying the smaller Henshaw Cave, and towards the back of that known cave, they find a small, tight crawl that only the smallest of the three could enter. They find a connection to Higginbotham Cave, and Cumberland Caverns is born. So it's a combination of these two caves. The connection of these two caves is what forms Cumberland Caverns. Later, the passageway, nicknamed the Meat Grinder because it had really sharp rocks and spikes and things like that, is cleared of large boulders to allow cavers easier access to the larger parts of what was the Higginbotham Cave. The development of portions of the now connected cave system that you get to walk through began in 1955 by these two gentlemen, Roy Davis and Tank Gorin, with an agreement with the landowners, who was the Powell family. A family by the name of Powell, they owned the cave. Electricity and a road officially reached the Henshaw entrance in 1956, and then July 4th, 1956, Roy Davis officially opens Cumberland Caverns to the public for tours. So it was really interesting hearing the history of how this cave came to be as it is today, and how we can enjoy it. So I really encourage you to come down here to just outside McMinnville, Tennessee, and take a look at this cave. Certainly a great experience for the whole family. Now, it's hard to see here, but there is actually a ballroom here in the cave. I guess you'd call it a ballroom. It's a meeting area. They even have an old chandelier. They have places to sit, and so you can rent out the cave and have parties here. And they have concerts down here sometimes, and they have weddings, and they have birthday parties, all sorts of different activities. And renting out the cave is not as expensive as you might think. Then we got here to the end of the tour, and there's steps going up, and because we got the basic walking tour, the basic discovery tour, we were not able to go any further, and that's actually where it gets even more interesting, and you see a lot more of the cave formations. You get a little piece of it here, but we were a little bit disappointed that we hadn't, and it's our fault, we didn't really do our due diligence in researching which tours were what, and they had changed a tour from the last time my friend was there. They didn't have this tour. They used to have just one tour, and it did all of that stuff, all the stalactites, stalagmites, you got to see all that stuff. So we didn't really realize that we were only going to get a portion of the cave, thought we were going to see a lot more. So check out the website, make sure you're getting the tour that you want. All in all, though, it was a great experience, and the way we looked at it, well, sure, we could cry and whine about it and sulk about it, but we chose to have a positive attitude and realized this made it so we could go to lunch earlier. And there's a great barbecue restaurant in the town of McMinnville called Collins River Barbecue, and I strongly suggest that you visit that place. That place was great. So that's our visit to Cumberland Caverns here outside of McMinnville, Tennessee. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.